part of the reason that our teens are not, well, our kids and teens are not doing this already, like we've already talked about, is they haven't practiced making more decisions. But also another piece of this is that they're literally missing a skills gap. So we want them to do a certain thing, to get a certain thing done, to finish a certain thing, and they literally can't because they're lacking the skills, right? So that's something as simple as like deciding what order to do the tasks in. When you say, it's the classic example, you're like, clean up your room. Very often a child can't handle it because they don't know where to start. They're like, where do I start? So it's like this overwhelm, and it puts them in freeze mode and they do nothing because they don't know where to begin. So we have to teach them how to think through those things. We'll think about the order of tasks, or let's begin with this. Starting with the small responsibilities. So I won't say things, especially to my younger children, of like, clean up your room. I start with, pick up your socks on the floor. Okay, now fold that and put it in the drawer. I'm literally breaking it down into many tasks. And this works with teens as well if they're not used to doing this. Also, having the freedom to be able to make small mistakes, like I already talked about with the cooking example. Like, because my kids had the freedom, and still have the freedom, to make mistakes, right? That I'm not going to be upset because they wasted that food or they wasted this craft supplies. That's when they have the freedom to take initiative, because they're not afraid of being what's the word, punished or criticized
or embarrassed
we're
not going to
for
mock
making
them.
a mistake or wasting it or doing something wrong with it or using it in a way that I didn't approve of, right? When children are afraid of our disapproval, then they're less likely to take initiative because they don't want to get in trouble, right? So we're removing that barrier, which helps them to build self-trust, because then they trust themselves to be able to make good decisions. Now, that doesn't mean you should just let them waste it and like, oh, so that's just wasted.
That's what I was just going to say. We would apply this everywhere. When our little kids wanted to pour their own maple syrup, we're like, whoa, okay, first you have to go through the maple syrup class.
Yes.
And once you've passed the maple syrup class, then you can pour your own maple syrup. Because if not, like, it was a plate full of maple syrup with like a pancake.
So the difference is, say that happens, instead of getting upset at them and yelling, that's $10 a bottle, it's so expensive, and you never get to do it again, we use humor. And we kind of laugh about it, and we're like, wow, look at all that maple syrup. You've got enough for 3 people. You need to be able to pass the maple syrup. We literally call it a class, pouring class, so that you can pour it yourself, because this is expensive and we only need to use about this much. And so let us teach you what's appropriate and how to pour it appropriately, so then you can do it yourself, right?
And we don't want you to get diabetes by lunch, right?
Right.
Or go into cardiac arrest.
Okay. So if teens or our kids have, been told what to do, when to do it, how to do it all the time, they avoid taking initiative on their own. They avoid finishing because they're waiting for you to tell them how to finish it. And then, of course, they shut down or they push back when they're pressured. It's not that they're necessarily defiant. They literally are just lacking skills.